Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be talking about Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Emeka Egbuka and what to expect from him in year number one. Recently here on the channel, I spoke to Connor Bazelak, a quarterback on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was undrafted, came out of Bowling Green, and he actually threw to Emeka Egbuka in the Bucs rookie minicamp. He was the first quarterback, I believe, to throw passes to guys like Tez Johnson, who we'll talk about later on down the line, and Emeka Egbuka. And Connor Bazelak came away very, very impressed. He said that besides Harold Fannin, Emeka Egbuka and Tez Johnson were two of the only, really, three NFL caliber players that he had ever thrown to. And Bazelak had said that in the slot, Emeka Egbuka is just crafty, a great route runner, and all these different types of things, right? And we saw that at Ohio State. You take a look at his 3 seasons in 2022, 1,100 plus receiving yards, 10 receiving touchdowns. 2024, 1,000 plus receiving yards, 10 receiving touchdowns, and a national championship to go in there as well. Played in a bowl game every year of his college career also. Egbuka shined in the slot. And going forward into his NFL career, that's what his role, I should say, is going to be in year number one. Because Mike Evans is still your wide receiver one. If Chris Godwin is healthy, he's likely going to be your wide receiver number two. And then Emeka Egbuka may figure in that slot role in year number one. Now, there's a couple of questions to ask here, in my opinion. Number one is, do you really want to take Chris Godwin out of the slot that much? Because it is important to remember that last year, Chris Godwin was an absolute beast in the slot in Liam Cohen's offense for the Bucs. So I am curious to see, with new offensive coordinator Josh Grizzard in the mix, are we going to see some type of rotation in the slot from Chris Godwin and Emeka Egbuka? Are we going to see mainly Emeka Egbuka in the slot? Are we going to see mainly Chris Godwin in the slot? I don't know, but that's a good problem to have, in my opinion, that you have two guys who you can really plug and play on either the outside or the inside of a wide receiver, let's say, play, so to speak, right? And they can have success. I'm also curious about Jalen McMillan and whether or not that battle will be intense this upcoming training camp and whatnot. I imagine it's going to be, right? I imagine it's going to be one of the top battles of training camp this upcoming stretch of time. Because look, Jalen McMillan's still a great wide receiver in his own right. We'll talk about him a little bit later on down the line as well. But I can see a legitimate battle there for third wide receiver snaps. Now, in my opinion, yes, Jalen McMillan does have the benefit of 8 receiving touchdowns and 450 plus receiving yards last year, but Emeka Egbuka has the benefit of being a first round draft pick. And you heard Jason Light after the draft just gushing about Emeka Egbuka and his overall ability. So it would not surprise me at all if Egbuka was that wide receiver 3 ahead of McMillan right off the bat. Now I'm going to say this, I don't expect Emeka Egbuka to go crazy this upcoming year in terms of stats. He's not going to have 1,000 receiving yards. I don't think he's going to have double-digit touchdowns unless something really, really unfortunate happens in the Bucs wide receiver room in the case of injuries and whatnot. Egbuka will get in my opinion, a fair but limited amount of snaps. Because look, you still have to feed Mike Evans. You still have to feed Chris Godwin. Jalen McMillan is going to get the ball. Cade Otton is going to get the ball. Bucky Irving and Rachaad White are going to get the ball. That's just in the passing game, by the way, folks. You also have got to consider the Bucs need to run the football sometimes as well. They just can't throw the football 70 times in a game and call it a day, right? I guess they could, but I don't necessarily know how efficient that would be. So I understand the excitement for Egbuka, and I completely think that he has a bright, bright future in Tampa Bay. I just think we are going to see some mixed results in terms of expectations. I feel like where some people may have expectations of Egbuka being a 1,000-yard receiver, maybe lower that to, quite frankly, what we saw from McMillan last year. If Egbuka goes out there and gets 600 receiving yards, let's say, and 5 receiving touchdowns, that's a fine rookie year, in my opinion, for Egbuka. Because circumstances matter, context matters. It's not like whenever Mike Evans came in and he was the, essentially the wide receiver in the room besides Vincent Jackson. there's a lot of guys who are going to have a lot of opportunities in this offense. Ibuka is one of those guys. And the ball can only go to so many places so many times, right? So I expect a solid rookie season from Ibuka, but again, unless something majorly significant happens in terms of injuries in that wide receiver room, I don't see him being a 1,000-yard guy or a double-digit touchdown guy yet. We will get to that conversation as his career progresses. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions about Emeka Egbuka down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. And as always, guys, I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.